Designated Sierra 7.
Hey, welcome back to Cold Waters. I'm Commander Numpty, or David Steele, or Captain Numpty, whatever you prefer, and here's me boat. And today we're back in the USS Scamp at SSN 588 in what is going to be a busy mission. This is a simulation of a simulation. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on. I've just knocked the volume down a little bit. Okay. A whole bunch of contacts to our port side. Right, so today's mission is to experiment with some new weapons. And the scenario that I would imagine is that this Skipjack class boat, that's the Scamp, we know and love the Scamp, it was not decommissioned in the early 1990s, but instead she was put to service as a test bed for various new weapons that the US Navy was working on. Seems legit so far. Well, and in this hypothetical situation, she's being put to service against a fleet of 15 Chinese, or plan, I should say, PLA Navy submarines, and there's a lot of them. Well, there's 15 of them, like I just say. So, we're going to see how well these various weapons work. They should do just great. So, as a test bed, we fitted the Scamp with the Seawolf sonar equipment. And how I would imagine that this will all have taken place is that the US Navy wanted to work on the Seawolf. They wanted a suitable test bed with some new weapons and some new technologies that they were developing for the platform. And so, rather than dispose of or recycle all of the Skipjacks, they kept one kicking around, and that's where we're in. So the boat itself, it has the slightly enhanced speed that I tend to use. That gives it 33 knot maximum speed as opposed to 30. We've got the same acoustic profiling as the original one, so she's kind of noisy. In fact, you know what? Let's just take a look. Do I have it showing set up here? Yes, I do. Yeah, so 33 knots, 700-foot test depth, so she can't dive particularly deep. She's quite fast, not as quick as Seawolf. She's not particularly quiet, but she does have good quality sonar. So we've got the TB29 towed array, and we've got the BQQ5, the passive sonar rally, passive sonar.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 117. Contact faded.
I'm gonna I should bump up the volume of the crew because I forget that they're kind of quiet. They're quite noisy in my ear. That doesn't really translate to the game, so let's go ahead and just fix that.
Is classified as submerged submarine.
That should avoid me speaking over them. Right, where was I? Yes, so she's equipped with some new toys, some new weapons. Well, first things first is actually bring up weapons control. So we've got some ad caps, the Mark 48 Mod 7. That's what these will be. The ad caps. Advanced capability Mark 48. Tried and trusted. We've got 5 of them on board, but none of them are loaded. Now, the next weapon is the Mark 52. This is a completely fictional torpedo, so if you work for the US Department of Defense and this weapon really does exist, I have no idea that it does exist or otherwise, so don't come after me, I just made it up. This is a stealthy weapon, or technically a low observable weapon. Stealth or low observability is all the rage. It was back 25 years ago, it still is today. And the concept behind this particular weapon is it's quiet. It's got a very long range and it's very quiet, even to the point of it doesn't rush out the torpedo tubes with a blast of compressed air. No, this thing kind of wafts out under its own power, which makes it really quiet. Now I'm going to go ahead and get one of these out and get one of these deployed. I'm actually going to send it southeast.
Shoot 2-1.
But I'm going to divert it round. It's a very quiet torpedo. Now, it's not particularly speedy. We reckon that this weapon would be electrically powered. and it does 37, 38 knots, I think, when it's in navigation mode. You know what, it might even tell me here. Let's see, does it tell me? Yes, it says 37 knots in navigation mode. It does run quicker. There we go. A fuel cell, a hydrogen fuel cell propulsion. It basically burn hydrogen essentially to create electric, which is what drives the torpedo. So it's nice and quiet. It's not particularly quick, and the ADCAP is most definitely quicker. But the point of this weapon is it's not meant to be quick. It's meant to be stealthy and have a very long range. Going back to a concept that the Royal Navy had for the Tigerfish, you want to get this weapon out nice and early, and then wire guide it to the target, and then let it do its own thing. Now, we're a little compromised here in the Skipjack because we just have the same one wire. So, the Seawolf has got a bunch more wires to control the torpedo. I only have one. It's okay. I'm still going to take on all 15, and we're still going to win. Maybe. The next weapon is the Sea Lance. Now, Sea Lance was cancelled as a production weapon when the Soviet Union collapsed, but I'm supposing that they kept Sea Lance kicking around. Seems like a good idea at the time. It's an interesting weapon to use. So, to explain what Sea Lance is, it's a standoff torpedo weapon. It's a rocket-powered torpedo. So, it's a little hard to tell on the graphic there at the bottom right. But the tip of that symbol represents the Mark 6 torpedo. We blast that thing out of our torpedo tube. We can launch that at up to 400 feet, so we have a special, deeper launch mechanism that the US Navy was developing for Seawolf. That may or may not be the case. I'm supposing that it is. You blast that thing off underwater, and off it goes to the target location, and it drops a Mark 46 torpedo. I mistyped that. Look, Sea Lance. Well, I guess it's not the same thing as a Sea Lance. Sea Lance. So we drop our Sea Lance torpedo over the head of the enemy submarine, and we cause havoc in the formation. And we've got 5 of those on board today. Because, well, like I say, they're an interesting weapon. They have a very long range, and they're a very quick weapon. They have a nice long range. So if some of these guys try and escape me, that's what I'm going to use to hit them with. And then finally we've got a harpoon, which was never certified for the Skipjack, but that's for good measure. You know, if I force something to the surface and I've run out of Sea Lance, we'll harpoon it. And who doesn't like harpooning submarine, right? So the ADCAPs are basically my backup weapon. My Mark 52s are going to be my primary weapon, with Sea Lance as a sort of overreaching kind of weapon there. Now, opponent-wise, most of these are most of these are diesel electric boats. The Chinese made some pretty quiet boats. The Han, which is showing up on the screen there, top right, is not a quiet boat in the slightest. We've got the whole fleet of 6 out there, and we should pick them up pretty easily. We should take care of them pretty easily. I don't think they're going to be a particularly big threat. But like with everything, hey, they carry torpedoes, so they are a threat. I'm going to turn away
Helm
just
right
slightly.
215. Helm I.
We want to let our towed array get the best possible return on these guys, and I'm actually going to just reduce my depth to 400 feet because I do have that Sea Lance just waiting to be test fired in this simulated environment here. So let's go ahead and get to 400 feet. That will probably do close enough. Go.
Passing 400 feet.
We'll let it bob up just a little bit. But in other regards, the Seawolf is pretty much as it was originally built. So it's not that quiet. It's not particularly refined, it's not particularly robust, but it doesn't matter. Its role here is to be a platform for these
steady course.
These weapons. I'm going to accelerate time.
Sonar, Sierra 1, 2 is cavitating.
So, with the Mark 52 being a very quiet boat, I'm pretty certain that they're not even going to hear it coming until it's too late. Looks like the Sierra 8 is going to be the first boat that we get.
Sonar, Sierra 1, 2 is cavitating.
Looks like Sierra 8 is going to be the first boat that we get a reasonable
Con sonar, Sierra 1, 2 is cavitating.
Reasonable idea of where it is. What is Sierra 12 doing? All sorts. We don't know what on
Con
earth
sonar,
is doing.
Sierra 2 is cavitating.
Now Sierra 2 is cavitating, and Sierra 2 is we believe is a kilo. Shouldn't be able to hear this weapon. I think they're just doing Crazy Ivans. I don't know, is it a Crazy Ivan if it's the People's Liberation Army Navy? I don't know. Either way, we're gonna let them bob along. The hand is moving at 18 knots, that's interesting. Did they detect something? Well, we're running accelerate time right now. Some of these torpedoes, some of these submarines even are closer than they would imply, I reckon. Okay, I'm going to turn this torpedo a little bit more south towards the enemy. Still don't have a particularly good acoustic on anything, really. In the Alpha, he's slowed right down. Everything else is slowed right down. Maybe they think they detect something. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. So the hand is much closer than we thought. But that's very good, because it means that my Mark 52 is in its baffle. So let's go ahead and turn that towards the target right now. I can do a pincer movement here. I can hit them from the front with a fresh Mark 52 and hit them from the back with the one that's been in the water for some time. So accelerate time again.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 5.
So Sierra 5 is actually right there, and he's about to get...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 101.
I don't think Sierra 5 is too big a threat. I think possibly these kilos could maybe be a bit more of a threat, but right now they think I'm behind them. So let's cause some panic. Let's go ahead and activate the sonar on Torpedo 1. So we're going to run an active sonar, and we're going to basically ping. So we're going to they're going to think they're under attack from basically the east.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 101.
There we go. Detected something.
Sierra 5 is cavitating.
There's going to be all sorts going on right now.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 115. Designated Sierra 13.
Yeah, so submarines like...
Con sonar, new contact bearing 120. Designated Sierra 14.
Yeah, so Sierra 13, Sierra 14, we had not detected them. They look like their songs.
Sierra 14 is classified as submerged submarine.
I'm going to go ahead and get some more weapons out, I think.
Sonar, Sierra 14 is cavitating.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 114.
So there are no wires. Yeah, there's
Con,
only one.
Fire control,
one
weapon
wire.
acquired.
So essentially, this Mark 52 is causing all sorts of havoc right now. It's panicking a whole bunch of submarines. They're reaching up to speed. They're coming right towards me. They've got a big surprise for them. If I launch a Sea Lance, they're gonna detect where I am. I think what I want to do is not necessarily target this hand. Let's see if I can find this kilo. I wonder if it's the one to the south of me, or which one it is. Let's see. Not sure what it is. Because the Mark 52s float out
Con
of
sonar, noisemaker bearing 119.
Float out of the tubes, they don't create a traditional launch sound, which means that they're very sneaky firing them. And that's really good, because it means that they don't necessarily hear me firing at them. So all they're going to suddenly get is a whole barrage of weapons firing at them. Let's go ahead and snake this.
Noisemaker bearing 114.
Now I do have to be careful that
torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
I don't get targeted by my own weapon. That's a bit of a thing.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 099.
Torpedo 1 is targeting.
Noisemaker bearing 110.
It is.
Con sonar, Sierra 14 is cavitating.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
So yeah, we don't have wires for the additional Mark
Con
52s.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 1. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 11. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
Okay.
110. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1.
The Alpha got wind of me.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering
Or
aye.
more likely got wind of the torpedo that
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering
I'm
aye.
firing. So what's happened now is my cover has probably been blown. The Alpha that fired, let's see if we can bring him to the center of the screen. He fired upon an
Con,
approaching
fire control,
torpedo.
weapon acquired.
So my cover's
Con,
been
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 2. Last bearing 1, 2, 9. Contact faded.
and the Alpha is now getting out of here. Now he is a good target for
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
possibly a Mark 48 because he's
Con
fast.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 2, 3.
I think I want to use my sea lance. Let's create some havoc here. Let's drop a sea lance
Con
on
sonar lost contact. Sierra 2. Last bearing 1, 1, 0.
Alpha's
Contact
too
breaking
close.
up.
First
Con
kill them.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 3. Last bearing 1, 0, 6. Contact faded. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra.
Make turns for
Con sonar, we are cavitating. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 6. Last bearing 1, 3, 0. Contact faded.
Make depth 700 feet. Dive by.
I don't know if this is my sea lance firing at one of them or one of their SSN 15s or 16s or something similar firing at me. So let's get back to my boat. I've decided I'm off down to 700 feet.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 3, bearing 1, 0, 5.
We're up to flank speed. We're going to reposition away
Con sonar no longer cavitating.
from the enemy. Okay, so
con, helm, steady course.
let's see. Does the Alpha have 65M still? Yes, it does. Okay.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 1. Last bearing 1, 0, 4. Contact faded. Con sonar noisemaker bearing 0, 9, 8.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Okay, we should be well clear of that torpedo the Alpha's fired in my direction, and we know that there are 3 of my torpedoes heading towards the enemy, so what I want to do, I've repositioned just a little bit. Let's, I only want to watch and see what happens here, because there's another torpedo being guided towards me. Okay, they know where I am, or maybe the Alpha fired. Yep, I may have to
Come left
reposition again.
to 0. Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
The big wire guided to my location as well. Okay, so I have now bitten off a pretty big bite of this pie, this torpedo pie, and they know where I am, and this is where the Skipjack's lack of stealth is going to be an issue, so I'm going to have to rely on her speed and her agility to get the job done, but that Alpha bought it. Okay.
Con, helm, steady course.
So I am going to run... It's interesting. The Hand and the Song are moving northwest. Now, are they either trying to cut me off, or are they just trying to escape something? Let's run more north here, I think. There we go. I'm not quite notching the torpedo to my southeast. I'm going to get up to 33 knots, but I really want to have a go at the Hand and the
Con
Song.
sonar noisemaker bearing 1, 1, 1.
But I'm aware that there's another torpedo that's chasing me, so... Yeah, there it is. It's coming up.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 6.
I think what I'm going to try and do is guide their torpedo towards the 2 submarines to
Come
my
right to
east.
0, 8, 0. Helm aye.
Now, there's a few
Con
issues with
sonar
this.
lost contact. Sierra 1, 3. Last bearing 0, 9.
Make depth 200 feet.
Con, maneuvering. Making turns for 3
Don't know
knots.
what blew up, but it wasn't me. Okay, so some of the issues I'm going to
Passing
experience with
600
this...
feet.
This torpedo here that's now heading to intercept me, great. It's getting closer. I'm actually going to turn towards it, and I think we're going to get back down to 700 foot. Okay, it's just gone live. It's popped up to the surface.
Make depth 700 feet. Dive by.
So it
Con
may...
sonar noisemaker bearing 1, 1, 8.
be circling round, or it may have detected something. I'm going to get out of here, though. I don't want to stick around and find out. So we're going to head the opposite direction, like so. And we'll see if it picks me up when it circles round.
Con, sonar.
It did.
Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 127.
Okay, so we're going to head towards this Han and this song up to my northeast.
Come right to 055. Helm I.
Make depth 200 feet. Dive I.
Okay, it looks like it's
Con, sonar. We are cavitating.
diving down. Let's take a look. Yes, it is. So it's decided it's going to run deeper. I'm actually going to
Passing 400 feet.
bob to the surface just that little bit quicker. Making a ton of noise here. I don't think I'm going to escape it.
300 feet.
No, I didn't. Okay, it's fine.
Con, sonar. Noisemaker. Bearing.
Passing 200
I
feet.
didn't really expect to. But what I want to do
Con, knuckle formed.
is get it to guide towards these hands. I only have 22 torpedoes available. And yes, I've got more than one per enemy submarine, but I'm not going to suppose that everyone's going to hit. That's a good shot, that. And if I switch to me, we'll see this Han. Yep, there we go. We're on something of an intercept course. I would like to guide a torpedo onto him, but I also don't want to catch the enemy torpedo either. Interesting.
Con, sonar. Noisemaker.
This torpedo,
Make turns for 10.
Con, sonar. No longer cavitating.
this torpedo south of us doesn't seem interested in engaging with us. So let's get my speed down.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
I think I've got a Mark 48 with your name on it. So let's go ahead and fire.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Make it
Con,
active
fire
immediately.
control.
There we
Weapon
go.
acquired.
And we'll watch this thing guide in, and hopefully, I mean,
Con, sonar.
I can
Regained
steer it.
contact on. Sierra 3. Bearing.
I need to. But I think
Make
he's
turns for
going to catch it.
15 knots. Maneuver.
Con, sonar. We are cavitating. Make con, sonar. No longer cavitating.
I mean, I don't really know what to say there. You ended up just running into my torpedo in Numpty.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 10 knots.
Right, so this
Con,
song
sonar. Noisemaker. Bearing 124.
is right there as well. Well, I think you need to have one of these. That wasn't me. Let's give you one of these.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
Switch back to me. And it's going to guide almost immediately. This
Con,
thing is
fire control. Weapon acquired.
super quiet. The song won't be able to escape it. It's not as quick as the Mark 48, but I think the song is also boarded
Con,
too.
sonar. Noisemaker. Bearing 034.
I mean, I didn't really expect that kind of head-on pass, but okay.
Con, sonar. Lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 088. Contact faded.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
Well, I would have to say that so far these weapons have
Con,
been
sonar. Regained contact on. Sierra 1 2. Bearing 146.
kind of successful.
Con, sonar. Regained contact on. Sierra 1 5. Bearing.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
Some more targets. Let's see, what is Sierra 15? Sierra Kilo.
Con, sonar. Regained contact on. Sierra. Con, sonar. Launch transient from Sierra 1 5. Shoot. Con, sonar. Regained contact on. Sierra 6. Bearing 147.
So what I did there was
Con, sonar. Regained contact on. Sierra 9. Bearing 151.
I see that Sierra 15 has fired
Con,
upon
sonar.
me.
Regained contact on. Sierra 1 0.
Make turns for
Con, sonar. We are cavitating.
Make depth 700 feet. Dive I.
See that Sierra 15 has fired upon me.
Con, sonar. Lost contact. Sierra 1 5. Last bearing 162. Contact faded.
My Sea Lancer's just dropped a torpedo on its head, pretty close to, and it looks like it's already tracking something.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Let's watch that engagement if we can. Yeah. Whatever it is very close. may not have sunk it, but would have given it a headache. And hopefully it's gone evasive whilst trying to get away from this thing.
No longer cavitating.
Yeah, we don't even see it. Okay, so
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 9. Last bearing 156. Contact faded.
and that's where the sea lance could be a very effective weapon. It gives you the chance to immediately counterfire on whatever's fired at you, and that's very, very useful. The downside of that is, of course, you give away your location, but if you've just been fired upon and you have a pretty good idea that they know where you are, you may as well go ahead and use it. Now we're down at 700 feet. I think what I want to do is get an ad cap towards
Con, dive at 700 feet, dive high.
this cluster of boats to pretty much to my south. So let's get my speed down to 20 knots.
Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Now I'm going to use an ad cap because the ad cap is noisy. They're going to see this thing coming, they're going to know it's coming, and they're going to scatter. 20 knots, I can fire at 20 knots and not damage the torpedo tube. It's fired off with compressed
Con
air.
maneuvering. Making turns for 20 knots.
Go ahead and get it launched. Almost want to
Come right to 166. Helm aye.
get my depth to maybe 400 feet before I launch it, just to put it right in the middle. These boats are not tending to dive that quickly. This thing's
Passing
coming up
600 feet.
like a fly in the bath, so to speak.
Con helm. Steady course.
Passing 500 feet.
It's feel like we're heading into the eye of the tiger here, so to speak.
Con
Harvey.
sonar. Torpedo in the
Oh,
water.
okay.
Torpedo in the water.
All right.
Bearing 153.
Here's my surprise face.
Con sonar. We are cavitating.
Right, so what's happened now is I've got my torpedo out, and off it goes. It's going to create a ton
Con
of noise.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 6. Con helm. Steady course.
But it's hopefully going to acquire anything that
Con
it comes
sonar
across.
regained contact on Sierra 5. Bearing. Con sonar no longer cavitating.
Meanwhile, they are most
Con
definitely
sonar
firing
regained
upon me.
contact on Sierra 1-4. Bearing 132.
I'm going to turn away.
Con
So,
sonar lost contact. Sierra 4.
Send.
Last bearing 187. Contact is in the baffles.
present
Con
my
sonar
shiny...
lost contact. Sierra 6. Last bearing 171. Contact is in the baffles. Con sonar noisemaker bearing 184. Con
Okay,
sonar
I really want to say-
noisemaker bearing 186.
present my shiny metal ass to the torpedo, but it won't let me
Con
get a word
sonar
in.
noisemaker.
Con, dive at 700 feet, dive high.
Okay, so let's give it a knuckle. I'm actually going to try and do a numpty shuffle
Passing
here.
700 feet.
Drop a noisemaker here. We're going to turn right back at it. And we're going
Come
to get up
left
to
to
periscope depth.
184. Helm aye.
See if we can get up above it
Con
and
maneuvering. Making turns for 3.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
confuse it, and it didn't work.
Passing 400
It's following
feet.
me. Look at that.
Con sonar regained contact.
Passing 300 feet.
I'm impressed at how quickly that
Passing 200 feet.
torpedo changed its direction.
Con sonar regained contact on.
Passing 100 feet.
Sadly, for all the wrong reasons. Now let's see. Wait, is it still deep? No, it's shallow. What happened? Oh no!
Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 1. Bearing 090.
So I breached the surface there whilst numptying around and accidentally switching back to Windows.
Passing 100 feet.
It's back on my case, so let's get back to 700
Passing
foot.
200 feet.
Yeah, it didn't work. I need a bit more depth to make
Passing 300 feet.
that
Con
truly
sonar
happen.
noisemaker bearing.
Passing 400 feet. Passing 500 feet.
Let's go
Con,
ahead and
knuckle
give
formed.
it another knuckle.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1. Last bearing 07. Con sonar no longer cavitating.
There are
Con
torpedoes.
sonar lost contact.
Passing 600.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 6.
Oh, and see, look to the south of me, all those noisemakers, all the activity that's happened there. Because they've all been freaked out by this AdCat coming towards them. I should get another one loaded. That's perfect. I think I want to head to that location and see if I can get this this torpedo to engage with one of those as well. I'm aware that there are multiple targets to my east-northeast, but right now I'm not in a position to truly be able to engage with them. I
Con,
want to do
knuckle formed.
is avoid this torpedo running into me.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 180. Contact faded.
See, can I detect anything that's to my south? No, just a whole colossal number of noisemakers. So there's multiple submarines there. We know that much.
Con sonar switching to active
Let's
search.
bounce active for just a second, see if we can acquire something. Han is at the surface. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Well, maybe he's damaged. He might have taken a Mark 46.
Con, knuckle formed.
That would make sense if he's had to emergency surface. And that's it. That's all I can detect.
Con sonar switching to passive search. Con sonar
Yeah,
lost
let's
contact.
see if we
Sierra 8, last bearing 159.
Suddenly
Contact
I
faded.
can't view him, but there's definitely
Con sonar
activity to
regained
myself.
contact on. Sierra 6, bearing 181. Con sonar regained contact on.
Con, knuckle formed.
Need to get out of Dodge. This is a little dangerous doing this. Oh wow. There's two of them.
Con
Okay.
sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing 203.
Yeah, we didn't necessarily want to have two torpedoes engaging with me, but okay. Let's get back up to a couple hundred feet.
Make depth 200 feet. Dive by. Con, knuckle formed.
We'll actually go 250. Oh,
Con
turn off
sonar,
active
switching to
sonar.
passive search.
Of course, this thing has followed me because I'm changing my depth.
Con
So,
sonar, we are cavitating.
this isn't good. Alright, let's give you a noisemaker. I have a few of them. Should be good. Okay, that worked. And let's rapidly
God,
change
knuckle
course
formed.
and get up to 200 feet. Like so.
Make depth 250 feet. Dive by.
It's back on me. Here's my surprise face.
Con, knuckle formed.
Another knuckle, that didn't work either. Let's turn out
Passing
against it.
300 feet.
Let's reverse the turn. It's a little dangerous
knuckle
doing
formed.
this. I have no noise. Oh, okay, something broke that lock, but then there's one coming right at me. Present my flank to
Passing
this guy.
400 feet.
Turn back towards him. See if
Passing
we can see him.
500 feet.
Yep, there he is.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Make
Not meant
turns
to go
for
ultra
3,
silent there.
3
And depth,
knots.
depth, depth.
Maneuvering eye.
Oh boy.
Passing 800 feet.
Who knew this thing could take such a pounding? Okay, let's get back up.
Con, knuckle
Do
formed.
not want to get even a nudge below test depth. We will
Con,
surely
maneuvering,
crack the
making
hull.
turns for
Passing 800 feet.
Wow. That's why you need a bit more depth in your torpedo,
Passing
chaps.
700 feet.
And Japesses.
Passing 600 feet.
I want to try and get above this. Yeah.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Unfortunately, one of them has
Passing
detected what I'm
400
doing and is following me around.
Passing 300 feet.
To cue my surprise face. I'm not surprised.
Con, knuckle formed.
Con sonar lost
Is this
contact.
still on me?
Sierra
It is.
1, last bearing
Uh,
036.
And there's
Contact breaking up.
stuff very close to me as well.
Con, knuckle formed.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water,
Hit.
bearing 216.
Come on, Scamp. That's it. Good lad.
Passing 400 feet. Con, knuckle formed. Passing 500 feet.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Con, knuckle formed.
Okay, we do not want to go quite as deep as we did before. That's not good for the hull. The whole thing's got to be
Passing
recertified.
600 feet.
Okay, you know I have to
Con
concentrate when I
sonar,
go
we are
quiet.
cavitating.
Passing 500 feet.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra.
Passing 400 feet.
There's a lot of activity around me. There's a lot of torpedoes and a lot
Con,
of submarines.
knuckle formed.
And maybe
Passing
one less.
300 feet.
Hard to tell. I might have just killed one. Well, I didn't kill it. I just
Con
happened to be
sonar lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 285.
out of the way. And now
Contact
there's
is in
two
the baffle.
Con,
right on my
knuckle
tail.
formed.
Okay. And there's more torpedoes being fired at me. Come on, guys, give me a break. Yeah. Right in
Con
the
sonar
mouth of them
regained
now.
contact on Sierra 6.
Con, knuckle formed.
Not work, so let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to change my depth very rapidly. Here's a noisemaker. So one of them's gotten thrown off, but the other one is
Passing
still on me.
300 feet.
I'm going to try and dip below it.
Passing 400 feet.
Just about done it. Yeah.
Passing 500 feet.
Then we're going to straighten up and go the other way.
Passing 600
Like
feet.
so. Do not want to go
sonar,
over depth.
no longer cavitating.
Passing 700
just
feet.
slipped under depth there. Good grief, it's head on past now. Where is this guy?
Passing 700 feet.
There he is, right above me.
Passing 600 feet.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
He might have just gotten the attention of this torpedo, or somebody has.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 182. Contact faded.
Why am I laughing? I'm still being
sonar,
chased by
regained
one.
contact on Sierra 6.
Con, knuckle form.
Maybe I can use this sinking submarine as the decoy. Maybe.
Passing 500 feet.
Let's change my depth. Oh, it's not worked. So
Passing 500 feet.
aspiring ascent going. I think we might have bought this
Passing
one.
400 feet.
Oh, it's close.
Passing 300 feet. Passing 200 feet.
Good grief, these guys aren't going to give me a break, are they? So much for my
sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing 252.
so much for my stealthy torpedo right now, right? Do me any good whatsoever. I really want to get the speed down to fire
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing
at whatever's
180.
tracking me at the south. But now I'm right in the danger zone here.
Con, fire control, weapon.
Con, knuckle form.
Oh dear. Yeah, they got me. Well, they got me once. We can probably still escape here, chaps. So can we go? Can we like get out? Last one out. Close the door on the way out. Okay. Well, that was exciting. I bit off way more than I could chew. Not really surprising. There's a whole bunch of torpedoes and a whole bunch of submarines going for me. But there you go. Well, that's 3. So I'm happy to be a torpedo sponge right now. I hope you got something from that. It perhaps wasn't the best demonstration of how to use the stealthy torpedoes, but hey, it was worth a crack. What's the worst that happens? You're watching it. So great, if you like that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and if you thought it sucked, let me know as well. Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you next time.